And joining us now is Go Racing's Albert Bosma. Albert, obviously it's a pretty trying period here in New Zealand at the moment, but the Go Racing team have got a really busy weekend in Australia. First of all, let's talk about Atishu, who's first up there this weekend. What did you make of her trial the other day?
Yeah, her trial was excellent. It was her second trial. Her first one in Sydney was just a quiet go around. Last week, she picked him up very quick. She was just given a squeeze about the 300, and in the space of 150 metres, she picked up 5 or 6 lengths, and then she just sort of sat in the last 100. She coasted to win. So it showed us that she's come back really well.
First up in Australia, we saw her form at the end of the New Zealand preparation was absolutely top-notch, winning 4 in a row, including those stakes races in the south. What's the word from Chris Waller about just how she's prepared this time around?
He's really happy with her. He said to me yesterday, she's come back really well. She's in good condition. She's a happy horse. So he's very happy with her going into tomorrow. Certainly from that trial and her track work, it doesn't look like she's lost any of her turn of foot. So he's really happy with her going into tomorrow. It is just a starting point, but he is. We're looking at it from a preparation rather than just looking at it from tomorrow's race. We couldn't be happier.
Okay, what can punters expect from her tomorrow?
Well, I think we need to be slightly wary that her first up runs in both her previous preparations, she's been beaten, and she is a horse that does improve a lot off that first run, and we've seen it both times improve, 3 or 4 lengths. So there's a small note of caution. In saying that, she strikes the right grade of race. She gets in with 55 kilos. She's going to be settling midfield just behind. With her turn of foot, she's going to be hitting the line very hard. So we certainly think she's a top 3 chance tomorrow, and certainly on ability, she can beat this field with no problems. But there is that small concern that first up, she has been beaten every time and does improve. And that's the small concern going in, but that's really the only concern.
Where does this lead to, Albert?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So we've got to find out where she's going to sit best this preparation, what her distances are. And we've got 2 lines of attack. One line of attack takes us to hopefully to the Epsom, Group 1 mile with $1.5 million, and then to the Golden Eagle. That would be the ultimate goal for 4-year-olds with $7.5 million in October. The other line goes down more of a staying path of possibly trying to sneak into the Caulfield Cup. And we've got to sort of listen to her. She was very effective at a mile, but she was also very, very good at 2,000 metres. My gut instinct says that 2,000 metres is going to be her best distance. That's my gut. But we're going to see what she tells us in her first couple of runs and then make a decision which path we go down.
Yeah, I see she's got nominations for both the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups. Has Go Racing had runners in either of those 2 races before?
No, we've got close though. We went very close to having a runner in the Melbourne Cup about 3 years ago, one of our European imports. He had to win the Lexus, and he ran 4th, and he ended up missing by about 3 spots. So we haven't had runners in those races before, but we're getting ever closer with a lot of our horses getting into those big ones. And it's been a long-term goal of ours with buying horses like Atishu and also the Northern Hemisphere horses to try and get into those races.
Who was that horse going back those 3 or 4 years?
A horse called Alward that we bought out of the Northern Hemisphere. He ended up winning. Yeah. We've just retired him. He won about $800,000-900,000. He ended up being a good Group 3 winner. Just couldn't quite knock off that top level.
Yeah, you've got another import racing this weekend too, don't you? With is it Skyman at Moonee Valley?
Yeah, we have. He's a very, very talented horse. He's first up for the spring. He's won 4 of his 8 races in Australia. He's running at Moonee Valley. He's very, very talented. He's in for a very good spring. He's in the last. He's got barrier 1. His work going into this race has been very good. He's in for an excellent preparation. I guess the concern for him is his one failure in Australia was at Moonee Valley, where he didn't handle the track. So that's our only concern going in. But the barrier 1 helps. Damien Thornton, he's only got 55 kilos. He'll sit a bit handier, and he's very good. As long as he handles the track, he's a distinct winning chance.
Why Melbourne for him at this point?
So when they arrive in Australia from Europe, they get a rating in either New South Wales or Victoria. And so you place them where their rating is lowest to start with, because you can you start off at a lower grade for good money, you earn more money, and that's really how it works. And so his racing in Victoria was lower than it was in New South Wales, and he really likes those big, open expanses of Flemington. You know, he's got a superb record at Flemington. He can really let down, so that suits him, and he's had no problems left-handed. I wouldn't be surprised to see him up in Sydney at some point, but so that's why he's in Victoria at the moment.
You'd like to see him sort of get over that Moonee Valley dislike, especially this weekend, because I see you've got a Cox Plate nom as well.
Yeah. He is very. I think 2,000 metres is his best distance, and Chris toyed with nominating for the Melbourne Cup and Caulfield Cup last year, but didn't because he felt it would just come up a bit quick for him. So this time around, I think Chris believes 2,000 metres is his best distance as opposed to going the mile and a half. But he's a horse that could very much be a Group 1 horse in Australia. He's only lightly raced there. His first couple of starts will tell us whether we're heading that way or not. But it's not a nomination just thrown in for the sake of it. He's a serious galloper.
Okay, let's take you back to the Sydney program tomorrow as well, because on the undercard you've got Wairere Falls, who's been pretty close in the last couple. Can he take the next step today tomorrow?
Yeah, he can. He's a Saville half brother to Sacred Falls, of course, and he's in great form. He won his last start in this grade. He goes up in weight, so we've put Brock Ryan on, which drops 2 kilos. So he's only carrying half a kilo more than his last start. The draw's the concern for him. He's got the outside barrier, 14 and 14. It's into 11 horses now, so he'll get back with cover. But he's going really well, and he's well over the odds. He can win this race. And Chris said to me the only reason he's not top 2 pick is because of his barrier draw. Now look, he's only a rating 75 horse, but he's already won $250,000, and shows, I guess, the quality that he's got, but also the money he can win. So he'll be finishing very hard. He's a really nice each way horse, and he's progressive.
Okay. And the other horse we want to talk about, because it's a busy weekend for Go Racing in Australia, is up at Eagle Farm. We've got Stardome, who was winning at Doomben 3 starts back and was pretty good in running second at Eagle Farm last time out. How's he come on since that?
Yeah, look, he was really well. So he was actually 5th last time out, first up, but it was over a really short distance. He was 40 to 1. We didn't expect anything, and he charged home. So he steps up to 1,800 metres. He's got top weight and outside draw in a small field. The concern is they'll crawl and sprint, and he'll be back with the top weight. But we are expecting him to run the first 3. He's coming up well. He's in good form. Probably the steer will be, there's a $1.50 favourite in there, and we think he'll run top 3. But the steer for punters is next week he's going to back up over 2,000 metres, and he'll be very hard to beat there. He's got really good form at 2,000, 2,200 metres, even up to 2,400 metres, and he's raced at group level. So we're sort of, this is a step run, where his next few runs over 2,000 metres plus, he'll really hit his form. I mean, he's been a great horse. He's won, $300,000, and he's very consistent at that level, at that open class level.
You really appreciate you giving us your time, Albert, and go well this weekend.
Thanks, Aidan. You too. Good luck on the fun.